the malam to buy cigarettes, they will say, hey, Aboki, give me that one, that die young one, that one that says die young, die young. And when they are smoking the die young, they are also drowning their frustration with the bottles of beer from the Nigeria brewery. So in the life of the frustrated Nigerians, it was more money for the tobacco and alcohol industry. It was like a joke, but it was a reality at the time. Die young, poverty. On this same, when things started getting worse and worse, and to what we have today, then we started hearing that there were people, young people, who were looking for where to sell their own organs. Are you following me? As the poverty and the frustration continues to grow, the population continues to grow, and the government had no real plan for every of this Nigerian that is being given birth to, no plan for them, right? The population continues to grow, the poverty continues to grow, the corruption continues to grow, the irresponsibility continues to grow, and it has brought us to this state where we now have the poverty capital of the world called Nigeria. People want to sell their organs. They didn't care about the health complication or implication of all of this. The poverty made they make it look so ordinary when they're having these chats. I was in Nigeria. I have had my own friends joked about it, even though we felt like we were serious about it, but we couldn't do it. None of my own friends probably did it that I would say I know of. But this was probably about 20 years ago, where young people were talking about how are they going to get out of poverty? What can I do to be out of poverty? Young people, because we have been so exposed to poverty at the very, very young age of our lives. And we have been so exposed to this same society where we are also expected to be so programmed and conditioned on how to behave, when to talk and when not to talk, and all that kind of social conditioning. We were not given any opportunity. We were not given any chance. We had no chance. So it was poverty first. As you learn to pronounce your first word, you can tell the poverty around you. So you grew up into it, inside it, and you started kind of devising what can you do? And the talk of selling your own organ was common among us then. Shebi na two I get. I could just sell one, collect $1 million, and I can just take everybody out of this thing. I will do this. Young people, I remember that very well. Then things got bad. That young people were luring your own friends, their own friends. What do you call it? Taking their drinks. Okay? In order to perform this operation of removing their kidneys. And if you remove your kidney, you are going to be on dialysis for the rest of your life. Or you are going to be on medication for the rest of your life. Your next kidney is not just going to grow back and everything is going to go back to normal. These were the ignorance that has sort of blinded a lot of us, which poverty has managed to keep that way in the mind of a lot of people. Policemen, they will kidnap Nigerians. If these Nigerians fail to pay them the extortion money, they will perform live surgery on them, remove their kidney when they are still alive. These reports is evidence on different investigative reports, independent investigative reports on the atrocities of Nigerian police, the authority that should be going after organ harvesters, people who are killing Nigerians in droves, taking out their organs and selling them as a commodity to those who are ready to take them in the black market. It has now become like a pandemic. They just take it. A young boy that went for a medical treatment in Lagos State had his kidney removed during the surgery that they said they wanted to carry out surgery. In the process of figuring out if they remove it, they find out, okay, they've removed his kidney. Who removed the kidney? Where they removed the kidney? The government that should pop that out. And why they are still saying that, oh, the young boy is dead. The young boy died 2 days ago. Up to this moment, they cannot say the name of the hospital. They cannot say the name of those who performed the surgery. And as it is, they would rather say, don't spoil the name of the doctors, don't spoil the name of this. Or if they have enough political connections, they will just bury it as they are currently doing in Lagos. I don't know the name of the hospital. I don't know the name of the doctors. They just raised the alarm. They have done this also to my son. And my son's kidney is missing. And we didn't go there for kidney transplant or anything. They removed his kidney. Someone even went to go and see the boy in the hospital. Government hospital. There is another woman, by the way, in Plateau State that is also raising alarm. She went for appendicitis surgery to remove appendix. Now her kidney then removal, and this time around it also becomes a police the police case, which they said they have arrested the person. Organ harvesters, those who were willing to sell their own before. This time around, you could go to a party, okay, and they will just say, nick your, they call that thing, nick your drink, and you just pass out. By the time you wake up, you just wake up somewhere whereby you see an incision, they've removed something from you. And by the time you figure it out, now your kidney. See this story by AIT, by the way.
It is a story that has left many angered and scared, puncturing the trust of some in the healthcare system. It all began in 2018 when a just businessman, Busari Kamal, brought his wife to this hospital known as Murna Clinic and Maternity, located here in Yenshanu, just North Council area of Plateau State. Noah Kekere, the owner of the hospital, who has been carrying out medical treatments including surgeries for over 2 decades, diagnosed and concluded that the patient, Kainde Kamal, had ruptured appendicitis and needed urgent surgery, which was immediately carried out by him. 5 years after the surgery, her situation got worse with chronic stomach pains, and she was taken to the Jos University Teaching Hospital, Juth, for a medical examination, where it was discovered that one of her kidney was removed. In an interview with AIT, Kainde Kamal narrates her ordeal.
This year, I go in this stand for me 2 times. That medicine for me. I drink the medicine. Do you even I can't say, okay, this thing done the worst. I can't call my sister. I call my twin sister. Say, let me change another hospital. Go and complain for them. Man, explain for them so that they will know what to do.
Kainde's husband, Busari Kamal, later reported the matter to the Nasarawa police station, which led to the arrest of Noah Kekere for alleged kidney theft.
After the operation now, my wife kept on going to the same hospital for the past 5 years. I said she should go and conduct scanning from Jos University Teaching Hospital. So on getting there, that is why they shouted up. When they conduct the ultrasound scanning, all the doctors now shout on my wife that, Madam, why did you allow the person that can do the operation for you to remove your kidney? My wife said, no, they didn't remove anything from my body. They only removed the appendix. The doctor shouted on her. Then go and meet the doctor that prescribed come and do the scanning here.
Providing an update on the case, the Plateau State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of 2 other doctors who worked in the clinic along with the prime suspect and owner of the clinic, Noah Kekere.
He was arrested by our very beautiful DPO in Asarawa Gom Division, SP Timothy Bebisa. And also, we have also gotten 2 additional suspects. So far, a lot of things have been discovered. We have also discovered that the proprietor of the hospital is not a medical doctor, and we believe he has been parading himself.
Faced with credibility crisis over the development, the Nigerian Medical Association NMH's chapter quickly came out to dissociate itself from Noah Kekere, saying he is not their member.
He's clearly a quack. He's an impostor. He has never been through the walls of a medical school anywhere in the world. There was never a point in time where he was inducted as a medical doctor. And of course, because of the aforementioned reasons, he couldn't have been our member.
Speaking exclusively to AIT, the husband of the victim, Busari Kamal, said he wants the world to be wary of the clinics they choose.
On getting to DPO police station now, this same doctor knelt down near me and hold my leg and said, "Sir, please, Mr. Kamaru, it has happened. It is devil work. I should tap out, I should not be angry. Anything I want, he will give it to me." I said, "No, I cannot say anything."
The development has left many in a state of shock and distrust.
Very, very disappointed, and I feel pained by the fact that we are not in control of what actually happens within the healthcare in our settings. There is a need for government to urgently check all the health facilities within the state, and of course, this should just not be within Plateau State alone.
AIT's request to speak to the main suspect was declined as the police insisted.
Thank you. That's AIT. So in Nigeria today, the ratio of a doctor to patient in Nigeria is currently put at 1 doctor and 9,000 Nigerians. So 1 doctor is available to treat 9,000 Nigerians. To make it worse, the rest of the world, they are harvesting Nigerian doctors every given opportunity. They are leaving Nigeria in droves. The criminal politicians in Nigeria are not interested in healthcare in Nigeria. Okay? They are more interested in constructing buildings so that is where they can actually make money. All right? But what happened inside that building or the functionality of those building is none of their business. The welfare, the salary, and all of those packages for those who are going to be operating in those buildings is not really their business because their own doctors are abroad. So you don't have to worry. So Nigerians are now left with roadside doctors, corner house chemists, who are now prescribing or diagnosing Nigerians since they cannot mostly afford the available Medicare, which is also the failure of the criminals in government who gives no damn about what you do to care for your health. So when Kolu told all of you in America, the Abrodian Agbadorians, all of you, the Abrodian Lagos Abobakus, when he said they need you back in Nigeria, and to those of you who are like loving Nigeria from abroad, you see that vacuum that the failure of government in Nigeria has created, even if you don't want to sort of be responsible for anything in your life, I am urging so many of you to leave all those establishments you are working for. Those of you working in the medical care in America, the Abrodian Lagos Abobakus, the bigoted animals who are planting the seed of a division tribal, religious division, ethnic division from your different base abroad. Okay? I think if you are patriotic enough, this will be so great for you to resign from NHS, leave NHS and go back to Nigeria. Take up all those facilities, offer your service to your fatherland, build Nigeria of your dream. Stay away from America, stay away from Canada, stay away from the UK, and go and show the rest of us what patriotism truly means. And stop telling us to stop shouting from abroad, condemning these criminals from abroad, rather than being their praise singers, hypocrite wearies, unity beggars abroad that will never live in Nigeria. They will never let their whole family relocate back to Nigeria. They will never resign from all those places they always complain about and return to Nigeria to show us patriotism. Hospitals need doctors. Hospital needs specialists in Nigeria. Nigeria that if Tinubu want to build need you. Olori Burukuni, we know you don't love Nigeria. Nobody really love Nigeria. Opportunist ni gbogbo yin. When it, we say it is turn by turn Nigeria Limited. Okay, as they say. Now, when it comes to your turn, take your chance and go back to where you come from. That's why they take everything from Nigeria, they take them abroad and put them there. When they die, they return them back to the burial ground, which is what they have made Nigeria. So Lori Bruku, you can stay in America, you can stay in Canada, you can stay in the UK, and continue to call us names and tell us to go back there so that they can lock us up enough to further keep the rest of the Uluri Brukus you are deceiving from your base in America, in Canada, in UK, and all these places. Okay, you will never relocate there because they say, Mr. Tani, you have escaped from Nigeria. You will never want to go back there and actually relive the life that you ran away from. Olori Brukunyi will not use that opportunity and tell the truth. To the Sugomus, the Afofungbemus in Nigeria, the fine barras in Nigeria, the ones that you always told that Rome was not built in a day. Hospitals have now been taken over by quacks. Okay, my family, your family members, they are now in the hands of quacks. Any of them could be killed anytime. The quack failed healthcare system in Nigeria killed my father. My money couldn't save him. His money couldn't save him. The same quackery, fake healthcare system in Nigeria killed my mother as well. It killed both of my parents. Yeah, that's a fake. So I am speaking from the position of somebody who have suffered the loss of a failed healthcare system in Nigeria. And I'm also speaking from the position of somebody who could afford whatever healthcare cost it's going to be in that same Nigeria. For my parents, sure you get. But at the end of the day, just like many others who are currently in Nigeria still, your money will not be able to save you in a rotten, failed system. When it is your turn, and most of the time, it is going to be too late for you to actually move back and say, oh my God, Adoru Mochito, you will be dead before you actually know the truth. You know what I mean? That even with your money, a failed system in Nigeria will still kill you and your money will not save you. It killed my own parents. So you Olori Brukus who are also abroad telling us that we should be wishing Nigeria well when these criminals are doing everything to sink Nigeria. That's what they are doing. You are calling us unpatriotic. Now the hospitals need doctors. They need specialists. They need those who are patriotic Nigerians. Nigeria. Show us what patriotism is all about. Okay? So when next you see some of these Ashiris abroad telling you or calling Mayegun names, click their profile, check them. They are in London. Abi, the Ashiri pickpocket in London. Some of them are jobless in that same London, by the way. Pickpocketing, credit card fraudsters, how to milk the system. These are chances here in this the same UK. Open their profile and see what they are doing in the UK when they can be in Nigeria, helping Tinubu to build a beautiful Nigeria. They don't care. Nobody cares about Nigeria. You see those people you are following abroad who are telling you and they're writing beautiful things about Kolu. They are all chancers waiting for their own turn. Once they get the call up, they will come back like Onoche. You remember Onoche? That woman. 60 years old woman. that turned herself to social media, what do you call it? Evander Holyfield, fighting naked with kids who are old enough to be his grandchildren, all because of waiting in one chop from from APC. Egbekegbe. Sure, you get that is the life of some of the people who are abroad, though, telling you that they love Nigeria. I am proud of my country. I know a lot of people are always going to be saying nice things about Nigeria, even though I live in Canada. I love Nigeria. You know, love Nigeria. Nobody love Nigeria. Here you get. Majority of those who are telling you, I love Nigeria, they will never relocate back to Nigeria. Here you understand? They love Nigeria from abroad. If you watching me right now, if you are not watching me from Oshodi, Unsuka, or somewhere in GBO, I be somewhere in Borono, you are not watching me from somewhere in Kaduna. You are not watching me from, you are watching me from somewhere in Kaduna and the rest of them. You have no idea what abroad look like. Oh, if you say they abroad, you feel they love Nigeria from abroad. What do you have to lose? Your life is already kind of on track. You are facing that. So if you want to bother yourself with Nigeria, you can just become a patriotic Nigeria abroad, but you will never relocate back to the same shithole you ran away from. Because those who actually made you run away from that shithole, they are still doing the worst things that initially or primarily sent you out of the shithole, remember? So even if you are lying to yourself, that you are still in Nigeria, a patriotic Nigerian, Baba, more understand there, okay? You see those ones abroad telling you that they love Nigeria. Oh, you have no idea. They don't. Because if they do, there is none of them that would kind of leave Nigeria and look back at what is going on in Nigeria and they will ever say they are happy with Nigeria. Nobody. Do you understand? Nobody. Here you get. So a lot of them, may I tell you this one? May I tell you this one? This one is something you can relate with, okay? In Nigeria, if you look at the people abroad, even your mates, who were so kind of, below you when you were in school, and there they go, even those ones who actually dropped out of school as well, you realize that when they travel abroad, number one, they don't have problem of communication. They don't have problems with finding jobs. They don't have problems with actually building life. And in most cases, within 2-3 years, they have started doing things that the people you call successful people in Nigeria always do. When somebody is MD of a business, MD of a company, they will say, he no longer lives with us in Ajangbadio. His company has upgraded him. They've given him this palatial place at Lekki. They've upgraded his wife's car. They've upgraded his own car. They've upgraded his children's school. They've done this or that. You say they are successful. Then you realize that somebody who left Nigeria, it was so general that it doesn't matter where you go. Nigerians go Sweden. They know here, people will know here, countries where they know here the language, Germany, here and there, all over the world. After a few years, they will start building houses. Their families will start looking different. You begin to tell on his families. If he has parents, you begin to see the changes in their lives. The community will begin to see the difference. They will say, abroad, which are always considered as a sign of being successful. Sure, you understand now? Now, this is where I am going with all of that. So in Nigeria, you always have that mind that those who go abroad usually are successful, even if they have to deport them back later, or wherever it is. Abi? However, you are in Nigeria, okay? So Nigeria that you are, where success is so hard because it is programmed that way. A lot of you will find it harder. Depends on which level of, should I say, exposure or connection you kind of have, or the background as well, okay? Now, you see somebody who traveled, when you finally leave Nigeria after all of the struggle, you see, to that person who left Nigeria, who started seeing that the things he normally pray for, his prayer points in Nigeria and his prayer points abroad, they have changed. When he's even if he's the one that still prays, when he's praying in a way that is kind of sure of an answer. Sure, you get. So everything is changing. Then, at a point in your life, when you look back at how much of your life you spent in Nigeria to figure out to wherever you got to before you left, there is no way you will not be angry. Here you get. You realize that the system here is stage by stage, and as you are coming afresh, you will figure out where you belong to, whether you are educated or not, or whether you can speak or you can't. As time goes by, the system allows you to assimilate, integrate, and you can figure out what your level of success is going to be. But in Nigeria, where you kind of want to do everything, and then you figure out how the whole system is rigged against you. So when you compare both, if you get sense, there is no way you will not be angry with those who are running Nigeria. There's no way. And that is why I said, when you look at those who are now abroad, who somehow, to them, they have become successful, at least when comparing themselves with those of you in Nigeria. They have houses themselves, they've built houses, they've got cars. It doesn't matter what they do abroad. It doesn't matter the kind of job they are doing. I'm talking about legal jobs now. I'm not talking about criminal jobs now. Sure, you get. But they have a means that if they want to build houses in Nigeria, they will build houses conveniently. Something they can't really do when they are still struggling in that same space. Okay? So when you now look at that different system and the people behind those two systems, there is no way you won't be angry. So when you now see those who are here and they are telling you who are in Nigeria, no electricity, no security, no job. They are telling you that you should endure, okay? Because they believe that Nigeria is still going to be great, but they will never live in that Nigeria, ever. What does that tell you? It tells you that a lot of you have been those mugus. And to those of you who are abroad, the abroadian bat idiots, you can continue to live in denial and lie to yourself. Now everybody go collect when the time is right. Now everybody Nigeria go happen to. But it just depends if you are going to be honest about it. I mean, be honest. I say, Nigeria don't happen to me. You say, what happened? Tell us. And you are not one of those who are going to turn around and say, So we want you to go back to Nigeria. Save the lives of Nigerians. Go and render your expertise. Go and teach in the universities. Go and teach where you can actually teach moral. I mean, everything you have learned abroad. All the stuff you have learned, the experience you have got, go back. Tinubu need you. But we know you won't because you don't really love Nigeria. What majority of you love is your own time to oppress others. You want to return to Nigeria. You know, some of you enjoy. I'm sorry, all of you that are very much my regular people that I extend my hand of support to financially every month. Sure, you get what I mean? This is not about you, okay? But what I'm trying to say here is this. There are people that actually enjoys the fact that you are begging them for money. I don't appreciate you begging me for money. I feel bad, I feel terrible when I can't really help. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. I can't really help. Oh no, I just read that message now. Somebody's daughter needs help. Somebody's wife needs help. Or somebody needs their school fees. Another person needs operation for their D's. And when I read all of that, and I manage to reach out to those I could reach out to, when I'm unable to help others, I feel bad. You know what I mean? Eh? But there are people who actually enjoy you begging them for money. As that country continues to go down the drain, as your naira continues to crash, as inflation continues to stifle life out of many of you, as your economy continues to, indeed, a state of bankruptcy that is going to make life hell for a lot of people. Even those who can afford the life are also going to roar and cry, or they're going to groan under the hardship that these economic saboteurs have brought upon you. But there are people who actually enjoys that. They want you to be so grateful. They want you to be so happy when they give you 10,000 naira. Say, Baba, anything. I've been looking for money to pay my school fees. I don't know how to. See, my brother, I have a lot of people I'm helping. Listen, you see, there's so many people that need my help. So I'm sorry. Yeah, you should go and look for a job now. Some people feel good about that. So sometimes some of those people who live abroad, who escaped poverty in Nigeria, and they have attained some success abroad, the way to show that they have arrived and they are now successful is to see all of you eat from the floor, from the floor that they walk on. They want you to eat. They want you to crawl on your on your fours, your hands and your legs. They want you to lick them and all of that because they just came back from abroad. Some of you don't know that. So therefore, those who are ruining Nigeria economy, they are doing them a big favor. They are helping them to live their dream so that when they bring this latest Tesla car into this new building that they just built in the slum, where there is no electricity, there is no good road, okay? There is no water, all right? There is no security per se. But they have come around from abroad. They have built this fancy building and they've brought in their cars from America, American specs, Chacha with full AC. And a lot of you are talking about them on your streets. How this guy left Nigeria 5 years ago and he's just built himself, he's built 2 houses for his mother and his father. He has built himself a very fantastic house. He has already sent different cars back home. This is a boy that we used to mock on our street. That boy used to mock on your street that escaped poverty to America. He wants to come back to that same cheat-hole so that the rest of you can kneel down. You can all crawl towards him, feed from his palm, and to ensure that Nigeria criminal government are destroying the country. A lot of you are kind of turning to beggars to survive. So when they come back to Nigeria, they want you to beg them. Yes. They want to come back to that street. That same shit hole they left. Okay? They want to drive their latest automobile on that unmotorable road. So when they are in America and telling you, you need to support Tinubu, enemy of Bokwari, the enemy of Nigeria. You must stand kiniko. There must be no protest. You must not let them do this. You must fight them. They are in America having access to social welfare, good medical system. Their children are having access to the best education that the world has to offer. Because they want to come back home and see you in your squalor. They want you to continue to beg. And therefore, they can stay abroad and tell you, the likes of Mayegun, they want to divide Nigeria. The likes of Mayegun, they want you to go and fight. The likes of Mayegun, They want you to disrespect your leaders, while they themselves are safely protected by working systems abroad. They don't love you. They don't love Nigeria. You just don't have a clue. I have told you this before. Majority of Nigerians don't hate corruption. They don't hate oppression, suppression, and all these things. They just don't like it that they are not the ones doing it. So if you don't think those who are abroad supporting the criminals in Nigeria, those who call themselves Nigerians in diaspora, organizing welcome party for these criminals, every time they manage to steal your money and bring your money here, if you have no idea that they might have left Nigeria, but Nigeria did not leave them. And what is that Nigeria in them? It is that Nigeria of, I am waiting for my turn to oppress you. I can't wait for my turn to show you. I can't wait for my turn to let my God disgrace you, so that my God will make me look richer, and your God has failed because you are poorer. So I can't wait for that time. These are the Nigerians abroad. They don't mean well for Nigeria. And I mean this wholeheartedly. But if you don't believe me, it's either you are one of them or you have been one of their long-time moguls. Or your eye go clear. Just that time, I hope they wouldn't have taken your kidney. Like, the word I was looking for was spike. Okay? It's not thick. It's not big or whatever. It is spike. When they spike your drink, imagine your friend whose thought is how to get out of poverty. And there you are. You know they smoke, you know they drink. You're also looking for a way to get out of poverty. And they can't say one man saying won't help you. They carry you, go there, gave you drink, left you there. By the time people will come back, they don't remove your kidney. There you are. You will now remember Mayegun. What a corrupt, failed system does to the people who are ignorant of the direct impact of this on their lives. It is so many, multifaceted. And when they say, may Nigeria no happen to me, may Nigeria no happen to you, this is what they mean. It is not always the direct one that some of you look at. Stupid people. They are saying, may Nigeria no happen to me. You can leave the comfort of your base abroad. Travel to Nigeria in one piece, and you may never have a chance of going back to where you come from in that same one piece. You may be going back in pieces. That is if you have a chance of going back at all. Consequences of a failed leadership is not limited to those who don't like them. It is, in fact, it will slaughter those who love them. Thank you very much, E8. Okay, I am supposed to. I'm supposed to read your text, and here we are, your super chats. So, dad has stroke 3 days, hospital, no treatment. Doctors was reading X-ray result upside down. My sis from US, a doctor had to show right way to read the X-ray. Imagine that, to discharge my dad days later, he died on his way home. Stories plenty for how the system will affect you, even though you have the money. You have all the money. Now here you are, you want to save your loved ones. And then you begin to hunt for the better hospital that will actually do a right diagnosis. Or you begin to put money together. Let us take him abroad. And then you want to turn around and say you love Nigeria from abroad. Are you not deceiving yourself? Bless you. E82. So same goes for Angono. I got another one from Oladare. Yes. See, experience of how the system can affect you. And it's beyond whether you are APC or PDP. You'll be so foolish to still be seeing a failed system. And you are seeing the characters that are perpetuating the failed system, a failing system, Abi. And you are still jumping up and down, shouting, APC, I'm a Yoruba, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Northerner, I'm a Southerner. Are you not foolish enough? Don't worry. If you don't believe me, maybe you'll be the Adorumotito, the one that will eventually believe when it is completely too late. Yeah? So it is a pandemic in Nigeria. My advice for a lot of you, See this one, oh, now free, oh, and a lot of you may not, because it is so simple, you may not count it, but it can save your life. It may be the only thing that will save your life. Now poor, you poor. Abi now poor, we no kill person, oh. Because I poor now doesn't mean that I am now a commodity in the hand of heartless people that will turn around and say, na devil's work. So when people say, poor, you this poor man, if you get your sense very well, Papa, na poor, you poor. Na poor, I poor. I no kill person. Oh. So this little information can save your life, and it is very simple. No drink water, no drink any drink that is not opened by yourself, especially when somebody is telling you they want to take you somewhere to discuss so many things. They may say they want to take you somewhere, and this one is applicable to everybody, whether you are young or old, whether you are male or female. Listen to me very well. Nigeria has pushed Nigerians to the state of desperation. May one shele 20 they happen. Now, once in a while, or let me say those ones that make it to the news that you can use as an example, and you don't want to be a victim, that your own story is used as an example, at least, this may be your own life-saving information, my brother and my sister. Let's go there. This person is very good. He's always he's the one who is doing the UK travel. He's the one that is doing Canada. He's the one that will take people to this. He's the one that will kiniko. Oh, I have you know that thing that we discussed. I have met a man. This man said, if I bring you, we discuss it. You know you are the one who can tell it better. Baba, I'm not saying you shouldn't chase your opportunities, because you still have to chase the box. Sure, you know. But in this process, where you get to somewhere and the first thing they offer you is feel at home. What are you going to eat? What would you going to drink? If that is going to be the first time you're going to say, and I am fasting, even if you are starving, I'm fasting and I'm not going to break later. Can I take the drink home? And if they say, which one is fasting? Your life is better already. Forget fasting, my brother. Drink and eat. If you can run, oh. I mean, if you have a chance of running, my sister, run, oh. The level at which they are now harvesting people's organs, see. And it took on more. There are many people that they didn't make it, and they will say they were killed by ritual killers. Here is another thing that can also save your life. It is a $1 million tip. It can save your life. The crooked criminal policemen in Nigeria, whether na police, whether na army, whether na anything, listen, if you find yourself in the midst of the criminal police, whether fake or real, my brother, my sister, here is one thing you should never forget. Have a particular number, maybe not 1, maybe not 2, maybe not 3. Have them on speed dial. The people that you can give your location, that can track your location, that can track, including, you know what I mean, your movement. The reason is this. This may be your only lifesaver. I mean, even if you are going to end up being killed or dead, there will be a chance that those who are going to do that to you will be caught. Instead of just enter their hand and begin to pray to God, which is good, but security-wise, have these 3 people. Tell them the moment I have this kind of message sent to you, it is a SOS. Do everything within your power to raise alarm. Even if it's going to come out as false alarm, please raise the alarm. Because when I feel panicky on the road, especially with Nigeria police, there are those that will kidnap you. They will ask you for money to bail yourself. If you fail to bail yourself, they will go and hand you over to organ harvesters. And those ones, they have where they call their own portion in Nigerian police cell. They usually call them the abattoirs. Abattoirs, not where they are slaughtering cows or animals. It is where they are slaughtering Nigerians that are unable to pay them the demanded money. If you are lucky, and you are able to pay them the bribe and escape from them, if you are not lucky, remember that code. Let people know where you are. If you don't have that's what they call the find me, find my phone, find my location, location locator, and all of those apps, download them on your phone. It is one of the $1 million tip that may likely save your life in the case of eventuality. That is what they have pushed Nigerians into. The level of the increasing crime, when they are dishonest in the first place, how can they tackle something that they are dishonest or denying? The ones they will lie to cover. Or how can they investigate themselves? The criminals have taken over the asylum. We are at the mercy of the criminals. Nigeria can happen to anybody anytime until you end this old contraption. Ma take call so that I won't cheat you up again. Tribe of Judah, lion, or the lion of the tribe of Judah. Thank you very much for your generosity, dear mom, right? That was very good of very kind of you, and very generous as well. Thank you. I am going to go and make my tea. I promise you, I have fixed that line. So I will take calls tonight. So if you have all you've kept you want to share, when I get back, you can share them. But remember this, like this broadcast, okay? Leave that comment section for a second, okay? Like the broadcast, especially on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. And when I get back, I'll take your call. I promise this time around is fixed. I'm not going away. So don't go anywhere. I will be back.
Continue. 70 years old man. Child. Is that you? Jesus is Lord. Jesus. Is that you? Continue. 70 years old man. Child. Is that you? Jesus is Lord. Jesus. Woman, is that you?
Well, that is me back. I told you I'll fix the line. The calls have started coming through, by the way. Here you go. Hello there.
Hello, Marigun Baba.
Hello, sir. Kabiyesi.
Hey, Marigun, longest time.
I know. How are you?
How they happen?
Well, we still there here. It's still the same of the same, if not worse.
Oh, ya gari ya aiki ya kwana da yawa.
Abed, is that you? Yeah. Lafiya ko?
Lafiya kalau.
Yeah.
Kana nan lafiya? Lafiya kalau Marigun. Mata yara.
Eh?
Mata lafiya, yara lafiya kalau.
Oh, I've missed you, Ahmed. Mama ambush me by mommy. You really ambush me. I was already learning these greetings. Look at you. Look at me. Eh? How are you? How is your service and all that? I know you've been like away.
Marigun, I've been away. It's been like a long time, man.
It's been a long time.
I don't try. You get one day why they try. You try, I won't come in. It's not easy.
You can't be like saying,
well,
it's good to hear from you, by the way.
I tell you. Maybe small thing, right? I enjoy the program. Sometimes I'll just come in, maybe late when you're done with the program. I'll just watch, as usual. Watch replay. But they go learn.
It don't happen though already.
They go learn. She $1 don't enter 1,000. They go learn. Some people still they push back. Say Nigeria go better. Voila. In Nigeria, we go better.
Help me reach out to my brothers and sisters from northern Nigeria tonight. If you can just do it in your own usual,
most of them.
I want you to help me tell them. I use the chance because I don't know when I'm going to hear from you again. Okay, I'll tell you. Right? I want you to help me remind them that Tinubu that used Muslim ticket to deceive them. And today, some of them are feeling like Tinubu is now using Yorubas as in for his appointment. That Shebi Bokwari used Fulani Hausa for 8 years. How did an average Fulani Hausa benefited directly from Bokwari's government, other than the terrorism and the rest of that? What gave them the conviction? I mean, the conviction that the Emiloko of Tinubu is for the Yorubas. That is the first one. It can't be like a question and all that. Let me add your own jara to it as well, whatever that means. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Now the second part is that now we are on the path to official bankruptcy. Kolu, that is currently in the US, by the way, but I don't know if it's back already. Yeah. So Nigeria is on its way straight down to the Golgotha, where Bokwari actually started the journey from. So I won't make you come try make and look like say how far. This is not taking long before the whole thing don't they catch up with everybody. If you can do that for me in 5 minutes, I'll be so grateful.
Yeah. Oh, welcome today. Ni sunana Ahmed, but concern ni asali bayarabe ne cikakke gaba da baya. Amma maganar gaskiya ko ina ta fito ya kamata ka yi maganar gaskiya. Ga wanda kuke ganin program ɗin ga na Mayigun ba wai makiyinku ba ne. Yan arewa Mayigun ba makiyinku ba ne. Mutum ne wanda zai fito ya gaya muku gaskiya yadda yake. Ko da ɗaci kuma an ce gaskiya da ɗaci yake. Amma zai gaya muku gaskiya. In ko ba za ku ɗauka ba kan ku ɗauka. Ku cire maganin bayalabe ne wannan damun suna son Najeriya ta lalace. Babu wanda suke son Najeriya ta lalace kamar wa'anda ku kuke bi. 'Yan siyasan da kuke bi kuna bin su a gindi kullum da kullum. Kuna hila su kuna musu campaign su zo su zama shugabannin ku. bayan kuna ganin abubuwan da suke yi na alfasha, abubuwan da suke na rashin imani, sai su fito muku su ce su musulmai ne su ko kuma su Christians ne su, amma wallahi duk tahiyansu ɗaya ne. Yanda za su yi su sata abinda suka sa a gaba ke. In ba wai in iskanci ba, ya za a yi mutum yana Najeriya bai ba ku asibitoci masu kyau ba a ba ku yaran ku yanda za su yi karatu su san me muhimmancin ilimi ba, amma abin da suka sa a gaba yanda za su yi su lalata muku rayuwa, kuma suna nan suna yi, kuma kun kasa ganewa cewa mutanen nan ba wai son ku suke ba. Idan suna son ku ne ba za su ki gina asibitoci ba za su ki gina makarantu ba, amma sai su kwasi yaran su kawo nan turai inda mu muke zaune. Suna kawo yaran su, in yaran su za su zo karatu su zo turai, idan su da iyalan su za su zo neman lafiya healthcare za su zo nan abroad, amma ku kuna nan ku ta hela su. Ai mutumin nan mutumin arziki ne, wannan in ya zama gwamna zai yi mana kaza. Tun shekara nawa kai da kake kallon wannan program din, tun shekara nawa, maybe kana nan shekaran ka 30, menene Najeriya ta yi maka, menene kai achieving as kai dan Najeriya? Amma sai su kawo muku division su ce wannan bai raban baya son Hausawa ko kuma Hausawan nan ba sa. Bari in ga muku, mutanen ku shugabannin ku ba arewan ba kudu ba ko inan ba, mutanen nan kansu suka sani, sun san kansu ne kawai, kuma wallahi abin da za su ci gaba da yi kenan. Ba za su taba ba ku rayuwa mai kyau ba za su taba muku abin arziki ba. Satan da suka sa a gaba shi za su ci gaba da yi, kuma wallahi ba kowai bane, ku ne za ku ci gaba da jin yaji, ku ne za ku ci gaba da jin bala'in da suke sako muku. Yau ba dala ta shiga 1000 ba, dala ɗaya, wanda dala ɗaya bata wuce naira 100 ba, naira 80, naira 160. Yau dala tana dala ɗaya zuwa 1000.
1020 naira to dollar.
Mai fetur ya shiga bala'i, gas an shiga wani matsala. To ku ya za a yi in bar da rashin hankali wai ku ci gaba da biyan mutane, ku ce wai suna son muku abin alheri? Wallahi ba alheri tattare da mutanen nan. Mutanen nan mutanen tsiya ne, wallahi sai kun gane. In ko ba ku gane ba, ko za ku kwana kuna shiga kuna sallah da salati ne, kuna sallah kuna salati. Wallahi kun ta sallah kuna salati, muddin ba ku daina biye ma mutanen nan ba ku fito kun tsaya tsayin daka kun nuna wa mutanen nan kai ba ma yin ku, kowa ya kama gaban shi, kowa ya abin da ya kamata, wallahi ba za ku ga canji ba. Sai dai ku ta ganin canjin da za ku gani bala'i ne kan bala'i. Wannan ba wai tsinuwa bane ko kuma ana tsine muku ko kuma wai nan ba sa sani. A'a, wannan in Buhari ya zo yayi nashi ko kun ce ai Buhari wasu ne ba sa son Buhari yayi succeeding, Buhari waye da Tinubu ya zo ya kawo muku muslim ticket. Mu ba ruwanmu da wani muslim ticket, ba muslim din ba Christian din ba. Wallahi dan siyasa a Najeriya babu abin da ya sa gaba satan da zai zo ya sa gaba, kuma wallahi in dai ba ku daina ba, in dai ba ku daina biyan mutanen da wallahi bala'i ba ku gani ba, kaɗan kuka gani, wallahi za ku ga bala'i, asalin bala'i. Ku ci gaba za ku ga bala'i. Allah ya sa ku gane, Allah ya sa ku san me ya kamata. Ku daina biyan mutanen nan. Mu ba makiyan ku bane, we from abroad muna son ku, we love you guys. That's why every day za mu ci gaba da ga muku gaskiya, stop going after these people. Wallahi they don't love you. Ba sa son ko kaɗan sai kun gyara. For those ones we be saying that they hear the Hausa.
I thought you were going to talk about that shege when you are talking about ball. Just tell us anyway. I got the message. I was with you all through. Go on, Baba.
Ai asalin shege da see the shege, za ku ga shege, ku ga shegiya Pro Max. Aka za ku ta gani. Shegiya banza Pro Max, aka za ku ta gani. Kaɗan kuka gani. $1,000 za ku siya mai 1,000, just watch. Mai ba, Peter za ku siya shi 1,000. The time is coming. Ku ci gaba da biyu musu. Ku ce gwamnan nan ai waye. Ku je ku kalle su mana. Yaran su ba sa zama a Najeriya fa, yaran su abroad suke zuwa. their children suna nan abroad. Healthcare ɗinsu da suke amfani da shi da suka ki ba su yana nan abroad. Ku kuma sai kuna nan ba ku da lafiya sai ku je ɗan chemist, ku ɗan je ɗan ƙaramin pharmacy, ana muku operation, ana cire kidney ɗinku, ana gaba da shi. Kun sha wasa ne ko? Ba matsala. Allah ya kai mu, Allah ya nuna mana.
Thank you so much, Ahmed.
No, Allah,
let's just give people the summary. They got the message too anyway. Some of them were just busy.
They got the message. It's just what you said. I just helped them, to just translate. Yeah. Just based on what you said, I just gave it back. It's just normal. If they are here, and I know there are a lot of people from the north that are listening to you, and they know, they understand, but that delusion is still living in them. I don't know when it's going to leave them. I don't know, but I believe the time is coming closer, and they would always see it because it happens every day.
That's right.
We are not predicting. It's just the reality that we always tell you. It's not prediction. We tell you what's going to happen, and it's happening for real. So if they will learn, they will learn.
Ahmed, thank you
they will
so
learn.
much.
It's just a matter of time. They will learn. Oh yeah, now my enjoy. Oh, princess.
No, she's
I don't miss you now.
I know. I'm bringing her onto the program this week. Okay. But,
I hope
we are still working behind the scene on how that is going to play out. But yes, a lot of people have missed that. So
no wahala.
I'll bring her.
Myself, I did try maybe soonest. Probably next year I will try see if I feel enter UK. You could just see me bam for Edinburgh. Say I did come with my even I won't come see you.
Don't worry, I'll have a place for you there as well. If you know what I mean. Well, it's really great.
Yeah, my good. Now my good. Enjoy now, my good.
And you too. That's brother. He used to help us deliver the message to the northerners who speak Hausa, because Ahmed speaks Hausa, and I've got those who always come around to also help us speak Igbo, speak Tifi. I've got a lot of people here. Once in a while, I kind of want them to speak that way. Hello there.
Hi, my Uncle Mayegun. This is Beatrice.
Oh, Lady Beatrice, ma'am. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. You're doing a great
to hear from you again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, brother. And this guy who spoke Hausa, wow, thank you to him.
You understood Hausa, Abi?
Not